We are the atmosphere. We are the voice. We are the energy. We are the noise. We are the kingdom. We are the vibe. We are the 12th man at Arrowhead Drive.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the 12th Man at Arrowhead Drive. I am your host, Kevin Britton, bringing you all your Chiefs content every Sunday and every Wednesday right here on Stadium Drive Sports. So we are now less than 2 weeks away from the 2022 NFL Draft. With that being said, I wanted to take a look at some of the players that the Chiefs have brought in for their top 30 visits and showed interest in already at this point. It's quite the range of players. We're looking at people all the way from projected first-round picks all the way to projected undrafted free agents. So we'll take a look at everybody that the Chiefs have met with so far up till this point, and we will do that right after this. We won't help you remember leg day, but we will help you win your fantasy league. Want to take home the prize and the pride in your fantasy football league? Don't worry, we got you covered. Tune in to Fantasize This right here on Stadium Drive Sports. All right, guys, let's go ahead and hop right into it here today. So this list of players that the Chiefs have met with is going to have some names that you're very familiar with and some people that you've probably never heard of as well. So we're going to start off, we're going to take a look at what wide receivers the Chiefs have met with so far. And you're going to start to find a very common thread amongst the measurements with these receivers. First one, Jameson Williams, wide receiver out of Alabama, projected first-round pick, standing at 6'1", 179 pounds. Jameson Williams is an elite athlete with tremendous speed and home run ability. His stop-start ability is second to none in this draft class, and he projects as a future Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver. The next is Christian Watson out of North Dakota State. Projected second-round pick. Could sneak into the first depending on how the draft board falls. Christian Watson is 6'4", 208 pounds. Christian Watson is a boom or bust, big and athletic wide receiver. He has very good speed and acceleration to run past defensive backs. Drops have been a concern for Watson, and he doesn't play as big as you think his 6'4" frame would show, but you can't deny his big play potential. Next, we have Eric Uzakanma out of Texas Tech. Projected third-round pick, 6'1", 209 pounds. Eric Azukanma is an athletic wideout who excels with the ball in his hands. He also uses that athleticism to get off the line of scrimmage cleanly. He is elusive in space and could rack up plenty of yards after the catch. And then we have Samori Toure out of Nebraska, a projected sixth-round pick, standing 6'3", 191 pounds. Samori Toure is a smooth route runner that operates out of the slot. He may not have elite speed, but his tremendous route running allows him to successfully create separation, giving a signal caller a clear area to throw to. And then the last wide receiver, George Pickens, out of Georgia, projected second-round pick, standing 6'3", 195 pounds. George Pickens has a great combination of height, length, and athleticism. He worked his way back on the field this past season at Georgia after suffering a torn ACL. He displayed his playmaking ability as a freshman, and if he returns to form, he will be a stellar NFL wide receiver. So as you can see, out of the 5 wide receivers they've met with, they are all 6'1" or taller. So there's been a lot of debate over, are the Chiefs purposely going bigger across the board at wide receiver, or was it just, the fact that MVS, we brought him in for speed, he just happens to be fast, and Juju has good size. I think that was definitely an expectation of bringing in somebody like Juju with a little bit of bulk to him. But based on who they've met with as well, I think it's pretty clear to see that, yes, they are looking to go bigger at wide receiver, which makes sense because it's kind of a chess move. They're looking to combat what some of the other teams, specifically in the AFC West, have done with bringing in cornerbacks to compete against what has been known as the Chiefs' wide receiving core and the Legion of Zoom. So now to combat that, we're going bigger and kind of going against what they were gearing up to play against. I think it's a very smart move, and it's kind of staying that one step ahead of everybody else to continue to try to run the table as much as possible in the AFC West. Now, we have brought in one running back to meet with as well. Shamari Jones out of Coastal Carolina. He's a projected 7th round pick. He's 6 foot tall, 220 pounds. Shamari Jones played at Independence Community College in Kansas before transferring to Coastal Carolina. Jones has good agility and utilizes it well when cutting and to bounce from one hole to the next to find daylight at the line of scrimmage. Jones projects as an effective committee running back in the NFL. And we've also brought in one tight end to meet with, Lucas Kroll out of Pittsburgh. He is a projected 5th round pick. He's 6'5", 254 pounds. Lucas Kroll is an above average athlete with upside at the tight end position. He has good footwork, blocking ability, and can make catches through contact. He does have further development needed to excel at the next level, but with his high effort playing style, he could see the field sooner rather than later. Now, switching over to the defensive side and taking a look at some of the defensive players that we have met with. We've met with several cornerbacks. So the list of corners we've met with, Jalen Watson out of Washington State, a projected 6th round pick. Makes sense for us to be looking corner late. That's kind of the norm. But Watson, 6'2", 197 pounds. Jalen Watson is a physical cover corner. He doesn't limit his physicality just to the line of scrimmage, though. If you're a receiver, be aware of where Watson is before you make a catch, because he is not shy about delivering a big hit on a pass catcher. And then Samuel Womack out of Toledo, projected 7th round pick, 5'9", 190 pounds. Samuel Womack is a high IQ corner that can effectively and quickly decipher a play. He may lack size, but he is not afraid to lay his body on the line to make a tackle for his team. Joshua Williams out of Fayetteville, projected 5th round pick, 6'3", 195 pounds. He's the one that I'm kind of keeping my eye on out of this cornerback list on draft day. Joshua Williams was a lockdown cornerback at Fayetteville. Although the talent of his opponents wasn't that of other corners in this draft class, you can't overlook the fact that he dominated his opponents by utilizing his combination of size and instincts. Then we have Gregory Jr. out of Owachita. We'll go with Owachita Baptist. He's a 7th round or an undrafted free agent potentially. He's 6 foot tall, 202 pounds. Gregory Jr. plays the game with controlled physicality. He will likely start out as a special teams player as he develops and adjusts to the speed of the NFL. And the last cornerback is Jaquan McMillan out of East Carolina, kind of projected to be an undrafted free agent. He's 5'10", 161 pounds. Jaquan McMillan is an agile corner with a quick back pedal and good hip movement. He has also demonstrated very good burst and closing speed when the ball is in the air. We've brought in several wide receivers. We've brought in several cornerbacks. It's very clear that those two positions are positions we are focused on. We've met with one safety so far. I've actually mocked this guy to the Chiefs. I think it's a really good fit. Nasir Greer out of Wake Forest. He's a projected 6th round pick. 6 foot tall, 201 pounds. Nasir Greer can effectively jam receivers at the line, but is also able to turn and run with opposing wideouts. He has strong hands and transitions quickly from coverage to closing on the ball when it is in the air. We've also met with a linebacker. I don't know if I've projected him to us, but I definitely like him, and I'd like to see us draft him. That's James Houston. I think I've projected him once. James Houston out of Jackson State, projected 5th round pick. His stock has kind of risen. Earlier in the process, he was more of like a 7th round projection. He's moved up to about a 5th round projection. He's 6'1", 240 pounds. James Houston, nicknamed the Problem, could be just that in the league. He has the size, speed, and athleticism to be a potential starter at either the linebacker or the defensive end position. His athleticism gives him some ability in coverage, and his speed and get-off help him get after the passer. And then the last defensive player that the Chiefs have met with is Devontae Wyatt, Georgia defensive tackle, projected 1st round pick. Some mocks I see him slide into the 2nd, but I definitely think he's a 1st round talent. He's 6'2", 304 pounds. Devontae Wyatt plays with a great combination of strength and effort. Wyatt is a pure disruptor in the backfield, whether that's pushing the pocket into the quarterback's lap, stuffing running lanes, or getting his hands into the passing lanes. He is sure to make any defensive line better in the NFL. So, again, a lot of receivers, a lot of corners. One interesting thing is you notice there's a specific position that we didn't bring anybody in, at least we haven't yet, for top 30 visits, and that's the defensive end. Not a single one's been brought in, which is really surprising. It tells me one of two things. Either they're not prioritizing it. I hope that's not the case. Or they kind of already have their eyes set on some specific people and they don't feel it necessary to meet with others because they've already kind of set the stage on who it is that they are going to be targeting in the draft. I hope that's more along the lines because I think we need to be taking 1 or 2 defensive ends in this draft. So it was a little concerning when I was looking at who we've met with and I noticed that there was not a single defensive end on this list. But yeah, that's who the Chiefs have met with so far. Now, there's still, like I said, about 2 weeks before the draft, so they could still have a few more meetings between now and then. And I'll try to give you guys an update if there are some more top 30 visits that the Chiefs do bring in. I think right now it's at 15, so they could potentially have 15 more visits. Of course, there's no requirement of meeting with 30. It's just that's the max that you are allowed to meet with. I'll still be coming with some more mock drafts for you guys coming up in the future as well. And I would like to know from you guys positions of need and really what you guys want to see. So first round, we have 2 picks. I want to know what position or positions do you want to see us grab in the first 2 picks, pick number 29 and 30. So leave a comment down below. Let me know first round draft picks, what 2 positions, or maybe it's just 1 position. Maybe you want to double up, but let me know what you guys want out of the first round. I like to take that into consideration when I do future mocks and kind of look at what the fans and what the consensus are really looking for out of these drafts. So definitely interesting though, and we'll see what happens. Again, 2 weeks away. I'm very interested to see what the Chiefs do in this draft. And I'll have everything you guys need leading up to it and, of course, thereafter. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Till next time.